What's good, Hoopers? Today we're going to go over groin strains and why you should be doing Copenhagen's to help rehab this injury and hopefully use this to prevent any future injuries with a groin strain. My name is Gabe Ignacio, Doctor of Physical Therapy, co-founder of the Basketball Doctors, and board-certified orthopedic clinical specialist. Our goal here with the Basketball Doctors is to help basketball players play pain-free, increase their longevity and durability, and also find ways to perform better. So all this information is just educational purposes only, not medical advice. If you do need medical advice, please reach out to your local healthcare provider, or you could DM us or email us to see how we can help you. With that being said, let's get after it today with today's topic of groin strains. So groin strains happen pretty frequently in change of direction sports. As many of you guys know, with basketball, you're constantly changing directions on the defensive side and offensive side, where you're cutting, defensive sliding, running through cuts, fighting over screens and stuff like that. So it does happen, we do see it quite a bit. The groin can be kind of confused with two different muscle groups. One being the hip flexor group and the other one being your adductor group. We're going to be focusing on the groin of the sense of the adductor group, so like the inside muscles that are at your hip and cross all the way down into the knee joint. So with that being said, Copenhagen Side Planks are a big exercise that the rehab world and strength conditioning trainers like using for good reasons. Research has shown that performing Copenhagen Side Planks at least twice a week has increased eccentric hip adductor strength by 35.7%. So why that is important is because usually when you have a strain of a muscle, it typically happens when you're contracting the muscle while it's lengthening, aka eccentric contractions. So if you can imagine when you're defensive sliding and you have to stop really quickly and go back the other direction, when you're pushing off going back the other direction, that muscle is contracting while it's actually lengthening to change directions, and majority of the time that's when it strains or tears, or when you're turning your hips or flipping your hips to open up and turn and change directions. Another good example that you like seeing that's not specific to the adductor is when you're doing like a sprint with sprinters, when they're reaching that leg straight out and that leg is essentially decelerating before it fully extends and comes back. That's typically when the hamstring is strained. So if you imagine when it's lengthening and contracting, that's when the muscle is typically injured. So that's why we really like using Copenhagen Side Planks for injury prevention, like prehab, as well as building up that groin strength as you recover from an injury like this. So in today's video that we're going to go over in a second here is the exercise that we like using for progressions. We like using a wide variety of things to implement this, but at least this can take you from maybe like a level 1 to progressing to level 2, 3, and further on. So these are just some of our favorite variations. There are a lot more, but at least you can see what we like using. Alright guys, so we're going to go over after the different levels that we like using for the Copenhagen Side Plank. The first level actually isn't in a side plank, but it's just a good way to see if your groin is ready to do the side plank. So first one is just a side lying hip adduction. So for this purposes, my right side is going to be the reference for this level 1. The next ones are going to be my left leg. Okay, so we're going to lay on our side here, going to bend up our other leg to cross over our body just for some support, and then we're going to raise our bottom leg up towards the ceiling, trying to keep it as straight as possible. Try not to bend your knee and bring it forward. Try and keep it nice and straight. Raise it straight up. You should feel your groin working there. And with all this stuff, core tight. Okay, so that's level 1. Level 2 is a short lever side plank. So what that means is that it's going to be at our knee rather than the longer levers. So I'm using a bench here. You could use a chair or a plyo box or something. So you're gonna side plank, so real quick, shoulder blades back, try and keep a straight line from your knee all the way up through your head. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core to stay in a straight line. Squeeze the groin, stay nice and straight. If you can, you can stick your leg all the way through the other side. Nice and tight, side plank there. Hold that for 30 to 45 seconds. Once you're able to do that without any issues, no pain, not struggling too bad, obviously muscles are working, then you can progress. So
That was level 2. Level 3 is long lever, so all the way at the ankle. Obviously, if that's too challenging, go for less time, or you could kind of go in between and go like kind of at your shin or calf as a progression from the short lever to the long lever. Just kind of mess around with it, see what works for you. Big thing is try not to have any pain at all with this stuff. Okay, so gonna be at my ankle and foot here. Same thing, squeeze the core, squeeze the glute, come up nice and tall, bottom leg nice and straight, hands at your hips, hold that for 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, so that was level 3. Level 4 and level 5 is kind of like our variations. Research doesn't necessarily have these, but these are kind of fun variations to do, especially with being an athlete. These are good ways to progress. We like getting into a knee drive position, just similar to like running and sprinting. So you're gonna get into the side plank position in that long lever, and you're gonna drive your other knee up into kind of like a march position, holding it nice and strong there. Same time frames, 30-45 seconds. Okay, so that's level 4 for us. Last one that we'll give you is actually movement. So that was just a hold there. Now you're gonna actually drive your leg up and down while you're in that position, okay? So same concepts apply, nice and tall. Start here, drive up quick, control it back down. Drive up, hold, come back. Drive, hold, back. Okay, so try those out, incorporate that into your routine. Hope you enjoy.
All right, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed those exercises. Please try and incorporate those into your exercise routine or your rehab, depending on where you're at with your stage of either rehab or athleticism. Try and fit those in at least 2 times a week. If you enjoyed that video, please like, subscribe, share with family and friends. Again, we are the Basketball Doctors. Let's ball for life.